Hi folks. Just got done watching Paris-Roubaix. Hopefully you got to watch it too, because that was a pretty amazing race. Um, and I've had a heck of a week, so I apologize for the lack of videos. But I rode yesterday for the first time in I think over a week, or at least a week. So lots of stuff going on at work, and not the ability to get out and ride. So I didn't really have anything to report or do. But the software update did come out, and I'm just going to quickly flip through this instead of trying to come up with some fancy screen. I'm just going to quickly flip through this. This is the Hammerhead blog entry for the update that came out on Tuesday. So this would be Tuesday. I think it's April. Would be April. Well, it says April 2nd. I guess maybe it came out on Monday. All the days are sort of blending in right now. But the big things, this is one of the big things, so they changed how the battery percentage was being displayed. Instead of trying to cram it into the battery icon itself, they put it next to the battery as a percentage on the I guess it's not the menu bar, whatever they call that, the notifications bar at the top. So it's much easier to read. I'm not sure about this map zoom in thing. I didn't try that. Um, New data fields, percentage of heart rate. The grade is displaying, and I was going to try to take a screenshot of this, but I've already started recording, so I think I'll let you guys look at this for yourself. It's not reportedly working very good, and I think that's due to the calculation and sort of the delay in calculation, because I believe there's no way for them to know how your Karoo is angled on the handlebars, so I don't think there's the typical thing that might be in some phones, like an actual um, level, but or almost like a carpenter's level kind of thing. I don't believe they have that, and there would be no way for them to know. You'd have to kind of zero it every time and know you're on a flat surface. So I believe this is done with a rise over run calculation. So it's typically behind unless you're on a gradient that's kind of steady. It's always slightly delayed on any device. Vertical speed, I didn't look at that. Here's the battery percentage thing again. Min max elevation. Some of these were already there. I'm not sure why. Maybe they were presented at the end of the ride, and now they're actual data fields. I'm not sure why you would want that displayed during a ride. Anyways, and this heart rate zone thing is the thing that I was actually going to show, and I wasn't able to find a quick picture of it, so I guess I'll let you find that out for yourself. But it's basically a kind of a colored chart of time and heart rate zones, and it does update. I did look at it quickly, but I just forgot to take a picture. So here's some of the things that they're still working on. Here's the known issues that are left, although this list is, I think, I don't know what the word is, but this list should probably be much longer. Anyways, on to the good news, I guess. I'm going to just minimize this and just keep going. This is my ride from yesterday. This was all on, or I shouldn't say all, this was mostly on a local rail trail, so not a heck of a lot of elevation changes, although it does go up and over highways a couple of times, but it's generally very flat because it was an old rail bed, and if you know anything about trains, they didn't like going up steep grades at all. 2% was about the max for a lot of trains, unless they were specifically designed for more, and it's relatively flat in my area anyways. So you can see again, if you've been looking ahead, the total duration is very good, and I chalked that up to the fact that I think I did hit the buttons better this time. The moving time, a little bit off just for some pauses, and that's because the Garmin auto pauses. Everything else is really good. I'm not sure I understand the elevation, but I'm also not sure which one is correct, so I'm not going to knock off points for either on those grounds. All these other things you can see are really, really close. Even this aerobic coupling, which I don't understand what it um, is off by hardly anything this time. Cadence is good. These are the averages. Average speed, it was actually excellent this time. Although we're going to see this, now the average speed is good, but you'll see when I flip over to some of these other charts that there was a little bit of weirdness there. Max speed was actually very good this time. Max watts, again, the Garmin was high. Don't have any explanation for this. So the Garmin was high on max power, but the Karoo is high on max cadence. So I guess neither here or there. The zones are actually pretty good. I have double checked this or triple checked this to make sure that they're both set the same way, and they are. So again, I think probably the differences here are due to auto pause maybe. Here's the ride chart, so you can see this is very good, and I actually did pause. I'm going to put the video of where I paused at the end of this, sort of maybe during when the YouTube end screen rolls, so that it doesn't cover up anything that I'm doing or talking about. But I did manage to manually pause both devices, so they both drop out here towards the end of the ride where I paused to take a little bit of video. These charts all look good. I'm going to just chalk up some of these little blips and things to the fact that I don't know if they're both blipping or maybe one's just dropping a little bit faster than another. Let's see. This is the power curve, which is very good. This is the speed curve, so this is what I was talking about, where the Karoo is consistently low for some reason, and yet still reported the same average. You can see down here as well, the average speed is the same. Most of the rest of these aren't particularly interesting, nor do I understand some of the power curve is excellent. I don't know what that one is. The heart rate curve is really great. I mean, there's just very, very small variations, and I think that's probably due to the fact that I made sure to pause them both at the same time, start them both at the same time, stop them both at the same time. And again, here you can see the difference in speed. It's like everything is sort of shifted slightly to the left, and yet the devices both came out with the same average speed, the same, even the distance is only off by, 0.2 of a mile over almost 36 miles. So, I'm going to give that a wash because, again, I don't know without mapping it out, and I didn't do that. I don't really know which one is correct and which one isn't. Cadence chart is very good, and then that's the rest of it. So, again, good news. This is the latest software update, and I was just going to flip back to the page and give you the number. I think the version is 156, or the sort of the important version. It's only really it only seems to really be the second, or I'm sorry, the third number in the whole version string that's really been changing. So I guess that's it. Hopefully everyone had a great week. If I'm able to work a little less and ride a little more this week, I'll try to post a little bit more. I still have a few video ideas for just some kind of how-to videos that I haven't quite gotten to yet. So once again, if you've gotten this far, thank you for watching.